If you're curious about Tombows and bleed through on the new Wonderland 222 paper, then this video is for you. Well, hello Wonderland fam. I just got a newer set of Tombow markers and I'm gonna do some swatches in my new 2026 planner. So I thought that I would share that with you. I figured I might as well just record the process. Now, the one thing that I do love about the lay flat binding and the Wonderland 222 planners is that when you are working with this much space at the end in your writing, you know how you have that big gap there for the writing, you can actually take the spine and fold it over onto itself and pad some of that under there so that it helps to fill that gap. So that's pretty cool. So now that as I write, it's not gonna flop up and down as much. So there is that. All right, so, and let me just make sure, I still need to train the spine of this one, but we will get there. Yeah, I might want to put a piece of paper in between here just in case. I don't expect there to be any bleed through, but just in case there is, I want to have something in between here and there so that that page stays clean. All right, so let's get to it. This is going to be a long and tedious process. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to organize these, and I don't know if I should organize them the same way that they've been organized here. Like, this is the kit that I bought. I got it on a really big sale at, where was it? Michael's. It was, I don't know, $50 off, somewhere around there. So, and I want to keep these banded together because these are the ones that I'm going to use for my trackers. So I think, you know, having them by cool, warm, neutral is great, except that I'm not sure where the rest of the colors would fall in that are not included in this kit. So I am going to grab my 2025 planner, and I have some ink tests back here, and I also have, so this is how I did it. I just went through, this is other inks that I was testing. So see how I skipped a page here and then I went on, so that way I could see the back and how, didn't keep that very clean, but that way I could see the back of both and how they show shadow, or there was no bleeding, but how they shadow on the other side. So what I did was I went out to the interwebs and I looked up on the Tombow website, or I just did a search for like Tombow color chart, and that is how I came up with this. It just showed up this way, and that's how they were organized. So I don't know if this is organized by cool, warm. I wasn't really paying attention, but I think I'm gonna follow this same thing. And I was just kind of being sloppy with it when I did this one, and so I think I could probably get more than 2 if I write smaller. And so if I use a smaller nibbed pen, then I can get these names on here and possibly get 3 columns. And in order to do that, I'm gonna want to count my columns across. So there's 34 squares across and 50 squares down, and then 17 is the middle. So 12, 24, 36 means it would go right here. And I'm actually gonna grab a pencil. This is a really fabulous pen, by the way. It's a Tombow Monograph Multi. It has a 0.5 inch pencil, and then it's got a black ink, a red ink, and then there's that pencil. And so when you twist it, the nibs come out. But this is really handy if you need pencil, but you need two other colored inks as well. This is very nice to have. All right, so I like to draw my lines with this, and then I have my handy dandy Kukuyo MO. I think it's called MO stencils. So there we have it. So next I'm going to go through and write out the colors. And so I need my 2025 planner to model off of. So I'll give another tip. If you're new to the planner community or new to using Tombows, when you very first get them, I encourage you to get some tape, just some regular invisible Scotch tape, and put it around this number right here, because this number identifies the color and it will rub off. And I do have some markers where that rubbed off, and so it's like, what color was this? And so when you very first get them, I would encourage you to do that. I didn't know that right off the bat. So I think I could actually even get 4. I'm gonna erase this. I think I could get 4 columns. If I just write the color number instead of writing the name. Definitely need better lighting, because the lighting coming from my left just kind of casts a shadow. Let me see if that shadow goes away. That is a little bit better. I really enjoy seeing everybody's shares in the Facebook group, and if you are not currently in the Wonderland 222 Facebook group, I highly encourage and recommend that you hop over there. There's so many fabulous, bright, smart, detail-oriented people who all come with their own strengths, sharing their examples of their planner layouts and their planner setups and their experiences with chunky planning versus functional planning versus, in between functional / chunky. I've got my columns, and where did I drop off? So I think I dropped off, because this is the beginning. So we're gonna go from 817 now up to, how do I wanna do this? Because I'm gonna start up here now and go downwards, because it's gonna go from here on into the neutrals, I believe. All right, so 817, now we're gonna go 835, skip, 837, skip, 95, and then there would be N00, which I put over here. Okay, we are ready to start swatching. Well, we've got all of the colors written down, and I was able to fit them on a 2-page spread, so that's awesome. And yeah, and so I'll just leave the back of both of these open, or not. In the future I might end up who knows. All right, so I'm gonna start with my swatches for my trackers, just because I have those bundled separately. And some of these I still need to get the tape on. So as I do this, I'm gonna just go ahead and add tape. Not sure where I picked up this tape. I think I got it at the dollar store. I don't remember. I thought I had gotten a good deal on it. All right, so this is $9.47. There you go. Just do it just like that, and then that protects that from coming off. $9.47. That's gonna be over on this side. Oh, $9.93, $9.92, $9.42, $46, $9.47. So what I like to do is just draw a line across, and then 2, and then a hard one. So there's $9.47. There you go, no bleed through. This is $9.77. So we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna gently press, and then a second swipe, and then a third harder swipe. $9.12 right here. Hopefully it's all in frame still, yes. Gently swipe, double and a triple. So just ooh, that's a pretty color. No, it doesn't really make any sense. Like we're going, I guess that's an orangey, so I could see that. It's $7.57. It's back over on this side. $7.57 is right here. Yeah, I would think some of these, like they're so saturated that they would bleed through, but they're not. That's so exciting. All right, $7.43. I will also say, definitely make sure you cap. I've had Tombows for years. I've never had one dry up on me except one, and it's because I didn't get it capped back on right. See, these look so similar, but they're $7.61 and $8.50. So $7.61 is right here. And $8.50 is back over on this side. Barely see it. But it does have orange. I wonder. Like I was trying to find a color to represent this. I wonder if that might be better than this one. One is more yellow, one is more pinkish. This definitely would be sort of like this. There's just not a color. I thought about, oh, I could just leave it white, and then I'm like, but how would I know if I filled it in or not? I'm gonna stick this up with these. We'll have that be there. All right, so next one is 800, which is back over on this side. 800. This is another one that's really, really light. You can barely see it. That might even be, that might even be a good one to be the light color. I think either one of them would work. I'm gonna put this in here too and I'll decide. Okay. Then we have 933. 933 is back over on this side. Pink's going to take us back over to the 700s. Yep, let's see what we got here. 062. So these are both back on this side. 062 is right here. It's cute. $725 is right here. Oops, I pushed hard on the second stroke. All right, so that is all of these, which I think they recognize as cool. Did I get this 026? I did. I feel like that doesn't belong in with these though. Combined two bags because this pile is definitely bigger than the last pile. So I feel like this is neutral plus. All right, so let's see. We have 879. Back on this side. 879. N65. I feel like that's a cooler gray. N55. It's down here. Yeah, even with that third one and the ink bunching up at the end, it's not shining through. 020. So I have two of these. 990. I think 990. There it is. Maybe this is the color that I want for this. That's the one, I think. What do you guys think? Okay, I'm gonna have to, I probably have a 990 in here already. 942. I'm gonna put that in with my tracker colors potentials. In 89. Interesting. See, isn't that interesting? Like, see the color of the lid and the color of the ink. Color of the lid looks like it could match up with that, but it lays down sort of grayish. All right, so that's 989. I'm gonna see N95. That is this one. $925. Some of these are so saturated, I'm like, I just know it's gonna bleed through, but so far, no dice. 977, we already have that one. 992. Oops, I accidentally pushed hard on the middle one. In 60. That is right down here. That's beautiful grayish purple. I like that color. Let's see, 346. I'm gonna save the ones that go over on this page until N25. This is the lamp black. $9.69. The only one up here. Nice color. They're all nice. They're all nice. What am I saying? I just love color. 177 goes down here. Like, and I hope you know, I'm pressing really hard on that last swatch, as I think you can hear. Like, I'm pressing really hard and I'm like, is this one gonna bleed through? All right, 443, 443. So I'm missing 42 colors if the chart that I found online is all of the colors that Tombow puts out. So I don't know. All right, so let's take a look at how they show up on the new paper versus the old paper. So this is the 2020. Actually, this is an undated. This is an undated that I bought last year. So there are other colors, all the colors that I have, and I'll just show you how they showed up on the undated from last year. There's absolutely no bleed through whatsoever. What is this? Oh, that must be something. It is smearing. Let's see, is this coming through? No. On the other side of the paper, it's white, so that must be a smear from something. And I do know that I grabbed sometimes the pen when I was, you know, like when I was doing my stroke, it would sometimes grab the ink, so it would come into the other stroke. I'm just assuming either my hands were wet, oily, or somehow there's ink smearing. But that is the same swatches, and there's no bleed through on the undated, which I would have to look up which paper the undated for 2025 release has. I don't believe it has the OG TRP. Now for the 2026 with the new Wonderland 222 paper, these are the results. So let me get some white in between it. Okay, so there was absolutely no bleed through on this side. If I press down, there is shadowing, but not bleed through. And on this side as well, there is, I am happy to report, absolutely no bleed through. The only one I can see where there may be a little bit trying to come through is this red color on the edge where I pressed really hard, and it was 3 layers thick. But on the 1 layer thick, there's no bleed through, not even trying. But right here, right there, on that 3-layer, let's see what color is this. Oh, it's that really pretty. It's number 885. So I have one more that I can add here. 847. There's 1. 2, 3, press hard. All right, so we'll see how that one is. If we flip this over, that is another one that I would say, now I can't even see the first one that I said it's trying to poke through at the very end. I think it was this bright orange. I mean, it's really negligible. Like, it's not bleed through. You can just see that it's trying to poke through. So I would say at the very end on both of these, it's not like if you just do a single stroke with a light pressure, it's fine. But where there's 3 strokes at the very, very end, let me see if I can zoom in. At the very, very end, like, I would not call that bleed through. I can just see that it's trying to poke through. And then there's that orange one. Like, I don't know if you can even count that. It's not bleed through. You can just tell that it wants to. So I'm very pleased with the Tombows and how they glide on, show up. I feel like the lighting here in this video doesn't capture the vibrance of the ink on the paper. So maybe I can like take a picture of it out in daylight or something and to give you a better view. All right, this has been a video reviewing all the Tombow markers that I have anyway. I'm missing just a few, and their lack of bleed through on the paper. And so I hope in future videos to get more into how they blend on the paper and different combinations that can be used to make that gradient look. And then maybe you can grab some of the colors if you see a look that you like. You can also get like one color for like $2 right now at Michael's online. It's their online sale. It's not sponsored. I don't work with Michael's. But if you see a color here that you like or a color combination here that you like, then maybe that's something that interests you. I really went there to get the colors to duplicate this so that my trackers can look like this, because I just think this is so gorgeous. So next future videos, I want to do one on setting up my trackers, and then some videos on playing with the inks. You tell me which one you would like to see first, and I will make that a priority for the majority of comments. I hope that this video has been helpful for you. This really is just a side hobby for me. I do it because it's fun, and I love all things planners, and definitely love all things Wonderland 222. And for sure this year with this new paper, I'm really loving what I'm seeing. But yeah, I hope that it's been helpful for you in some way. If you like this content, then please give this video a like on YouTube, leave a comment, share. It really does help my channel a lot. And it also helps the Wonderland 222 to get visibility. If you are interested in Wonderland 222, or you want to learn more about it, or just be inspired by different various layouts, there's a wonderful community over on Facebook. I'll drop the link in the description below. It's just full of really wise, smart, friendly, lovely planners. We have chunky planners, we have functional planners, we have artsy planners, we have strictly business planners, and we all share and inspire one another with our layouts, with ways that we combine things and with our setups, and it's just really inspiring to be in that group. Everybody is really lovely, knowledgeable, smart, intelligent, fabulous people. I consider it one of the best planner communities on the interwebs, and so I hope to see you over there in that group. And that is it for this time. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I will see you next time. And until then, I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Bye.